Hey everyone, this is Hewy Toonmore of Hugh's Anime Movie Reviews. Joining me once again is my very good friend, the host of HANCHBACK from Pages of Pictures, and the guy who sings my theme song, HANCHBACK! HANCHBACK, everyone! Kate?
Yeah?
Where's HANCHBACK?
Oh, yeah, he said he couldn't make it.
What? Why?
He said he was going to go loot the flea market for rare copies of rare Dr. Seuss manuscripts.
Ugh, wish you would have told me beforehand. Okay, then what about, the animated heroine?
She's out comparing Food Fight to Citizen Kane.
Ace Nelson?
Working out at the gym.
Joey Tedesco?
Watering Animat's lawn.
Animat?
Watering Joey's lawn.
Ugh. Is there anyone out there who wants to do a countdown with me?
Well, there is this one guy I have on hold. He's not part of Mr. Coat and Friends, but I think he's pretty cool.
Alright, well, patch him through then. Let's see what he's got.
Look, I don't care who you have to fire or whose legs you have to break. I want that garbage gone! It's vile, it's offensive, and it's just unsanitary! There should not be a Trolls movie! Yes, I know it's for kids, but that doesn't mean you could just take any crap from the 90s and... hold on, I'll call you back. Hey there, what's up?
You're a pony.
Actually, I'm an Aries. I know, people always make that mistake when they first meet me. Anyway, it's good to meet you, Mr. Toonmore. Big fan.
Kate, you didn't tell me you was a pony.
You didn't ask.
But I can't do a video with a pony OC on my show. My cartoon pony review series isn't even ready yet.
Look, just give him a chance, okay? He's really cool and funny, I swear.
Fine. So, whom do I have the pleasure?
I am known by many names. Master, Sensei, Sugar Lips. But most people call me Roshi.
Roshi? You mean like Master Roshi from the Dragon Ball series?
Nope, totally different guy.
Okay, walked in that one. So, what do you do exactly?
A bit of everything, reviews, voice acting. The only thing I can't do is draw.
How good are you with music?
The hills are alive.
Okay, I get the picture. So, you wanna do a countdown video with me?
Oh, you mean one of those listy thingies with the numbers and such?
Yes, that's what a countdown is.
Well, I should really continue in my mission to boycott the Trolls movie, but it can wait.
Alright, cool.
So what's the subject of our countdown?
Well, I'm glad you asked. When it comes to the Walt Disney Company, you can never go wrong when looking back at what made it great for us since the time of our first exposure to their movies. For some, it might be the colorful characters. For others, it might be the quirky and memorable dialogue. But for me, I always look back on the company for the creation of unforgettable songs.
We all have Disney songs we love listening to. Whether they're timeless, magical, or epic, songs created from the Walt Disney Company have stayed with us from early childhood to the later years in our lives. They can make us laugh, make us cry, make us feel a connection to the characters delivering the songs.
But unfortunately, no company is perfect. Even the House of Mouse itself isn't immune from the mediocrity syndrome and can easily produce songs that get under our skin and make us cringe whenever we hear them.
Basically, you got your good uns and your bad uns. There are tunes that we've had to put up with that can really degrade a movie of its credible value, with songs ranging from boring to pointless to just being a downright annoyance.
Now, normally when doing something like this, I usually stray from the negative and lean more towards the positive, lest I evoke the wrath of a certain computer-animated arch-nemesis of mine. But because this was sponsored by a Patreon donation, I have no choice but to count down the top 10 worst songs the Happiest Place on Earth has ever produced for animation. Thanks a lot, Juke! So anyway, get ready to plug your ears and throw up your taste in music, for this is the top 10 worst animated Disney songs. Number 10.
So it's a bit of a fixer-upper, but this we're certain of. You can fix this fixer-upper up with a little bit of love.
Whoa, hold it. Just hear us out, okay? Now, as I've stated in my review, I do think Frozen is a genuinely good movie. Maybe not as good as everyone is making it out to be, with all the merchandising, cosplaying, Disney theme park attractions, and the praise people are giving it as being one of the best Disney animation features of all time, but it's still a pretty decent flick. And yes, the songs in the movie are fantastic. I love them all. That is, except for the Trolls song, Fixer Upper. The song comes during a critical part of the movie where Anna is dying from being struck in the heart by her sister. She, Kristoff, and Olaf are trying to seek the help from Kristoff's adopted family of trolls about what to do for her. And how do they help? By singing about love, of course.
Is it the clumpy way he walks?
What? Or the grumpy way he talks?
Oh, no.
Or the pear-shaped, square-shaped weirdness of his feet.
Hey!
Hey, guys. Hello? There's a girl here who's in need of some immediate assistance. We need help, damn it!
Sensitive and sweet.
That's nice, but
So he's a bit of a fixer-upper. So he's got a few flaws.
like his peculiar brain.
Hello, you! Are you even listening to me?
This is not about me.
So it's a bit of a fixer-upper, but this we're certain of.
Do I seriously have to free you guys in order to get you to shut up already? That's what I thought.
Well, Frozen is a good movie, but has definitely been a plague on Disney lovers for some time with all the hype. The never-ending hype! But in my honest opinion, this song is meh, but I wouldn't call it terrible. I mean, if this song weren't in a dire part of the movie, it probably would have been a little more tolerable. But as is, it's kind of unnecessary and unwanted. As for the lyrics, I think Screen Junkies said it best in their honest trailers of Frozen when they described this song as the song you don't know the words to.
So he's a bit of a fixer-upper with something, little bit of love.
But hey, I'll take these trolls over these trolls!
In my opinion, if you give this song a lot of thought, it's actually kinda creepy. Spoiler alert! Throughout the movie, Anna is engaged to Prince Hans, but it turns out that Hans is the villain of the story who wants to kill off Anna's sister Elsa in order to take control of the kingdom. Now that is a very intriguing twist, I'll give it that. The only problem is that at this point in the story, we don't know that yet. We just think that Hans and Anna are meant for each other since we've established that Hans is someone who is kind and honorable. So when Kristoff lets the trolls know about Hans and Anna's engagement, how do they respond?
So she's a bit of a fixer-upper.
That's a minor thing. Her quote engagement is a flex arrangement.
And by the way, I don't see no ring.
She's a bit of a fixer-upper. Her brains a bit between. Get the fiancé out of the way, and the whole thing will be fixed.
I don't know about you, but to me it sounded like they were going to kidnap Anna, kill off Hans, and force her to marry Kristoff!
Oh, come on, Hewy. Don't you think you're going a bit overboard with this? I mean, yes, this song is going on about how Anna and Kristoff should get together, but it's not like the trolls are literally trying to force the two into marriage.
Do you, Anna, take Kristoff to be your trollfully wedded...
Wait, what?
You're getting married.
You were saying, Roshi?
Okay, that's just messed up.
Told you.
Though that also would have been an interesting twist if you think about it.
I'm sorry, Roshi, but in my opinion, these characters are more than just annoying. They are downright creepy as hell. Except for Grandpappy, he's cool.
Perhaps too cool.
Okay, now you're just being silly.
Am I, Hewy? Am I? Don't you think it's odd that Hans was a good guy before this song, and after the scene where a bunch of trolls who can use magic plan to get her fiancé out of the way, then suddenly he reveals himself to be evil?
How about we just move on to the next song on the list,
Fine, but my troll conspiracies will be heard.
Oh, boy, what have I gotten myself into? Number 9.
Say that as a team, we have got to be the best.
Now we found something we both agree on. We're a cut above the rest.
God, we're diving into sequel territory.
Now, to be perfectly honest, Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas is kind of a guilty pleasure for me. While the story did contradict the one from the first film with how the Beast was cursed and what happened after Beast saved Belle from the wolves, I did like some of the new characters, especially the villain voiced by the great Tim Curry, and the songs were actually pretty decent as well. But by far, the weakest one has to be A Cut Above the Rest, sung by Lumiere and Cogsworth.
Of course, with stupid sequels, you get stupid songs.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not really that bad of a song. In my opinion, anyway. Let's face it, one of the best things about the first film was the rivalry between Lumiere and Cogsworth, and I think the rivalry is displayed very well in this song.
To each his own, my friend. You know how to get me stressed. But when it comes to making Christmas special...
I'm a cut above the rest.
The tune is good too. It's very upbeat and somewhat comical, which I think fits both characters to a T. Unfortunately, only one thing ruins it for me. And I'm sad to say that... it's Belle.
You belong side by side, you should never be apart. 'Cause when you're both together, you're really twice as smart.
Yeah, good job there, Belle. It's not like you actually had good songs in the last film. I bet Alan Menken vomits every time someone mentions this song. I really didn't care for this movie. I thought Beauty and the Beast was well off alone. And this song is just lazy. And honestly, it doesn't feel like any of the actors are really trying.
Well, there is one thing I think we can agree is good about this song. It's short.
Blissfully short.
Everyone who knows us must agree.
We're a cut
Above the rest.
Number 8.
It's a state of being, a frame of mind. It's a most befuddling thing. And to every being of every kind, it is discombobulating.
In my opinion, The Sword in the Stone is probably the weakest movie released while Walt Disney was still alive. But that's not to say it was bad in any way. I do like the film's premise. The characters are all wonderful and memorable, despite Wart's ever-changing voice.
Hockety-pockety? Oh, Archimedes, I wish Merlin was here. Oh, what? Oh!
Help! Merlin! Help!
And the songs are pretty good too, considering this was the first time the Sherman Brothers had ever written songs for a major animated Disney film. Unfortunately, only 2 of the songs are barely worth listening to. The first being That's What Makes the World Go Round, and the other is the one we'll be talking about, The Most Befuddling Thing.
Hey, if Madam Mim's not in this song, I'm not interested.
Come on, Roshi, man up! Or pony up, whatever.
I'm sorry, but you're right. This movie is definitely one of the weakest, and this song proves it. I'm sorry, but what does King Arthur, Excalibur, or Camelot have anything to do with, let alone the concept of love? I assume Merlin has no idea what he's doing. Maybe he should just stick to Bermuda.
Well, it was based off the book of the same name, but that's beside the point. Anyway, let's start off with the first problem with this song. Its message. Now, it's obvious that the song is supposed to be glorifying the feeling of love.
The problem is, why do you have to turn yourselves into squirrels to get that message?
Exactly! Ward isn't in love with the squirrel and is clearly trying to get away from her, and the squirrel is too dumb and horny to take a hint. And the way Merlin explains it in the song, he makes love sound like some mental illness and will only get worse the more you avoid the person who has it.
There's no logical explanation for this discombobulation. It's a most befuddling thing.
That's not love, that's being a friggin' stalker, or worse, a rapist.
Friends, no means no, even if you're a squirrel.
And the worst thing is, Merlin clearly sees that Ward is not enjoying himself, and what does he do to help? Nothing!
He's enjoying this, the sick bastard. Well, at least he gets his comeuppance when a fat squirrel gets the hots for him, so he gets that's a plus.
Point is, there's love, and then there's infatuation. This is borderline obsession!
It's most hodgepodgical, most illogical, most confusing, most bamboozling, most bemuddling, most befuddling thing.
Number 7.
This is the morning report. Gives you the long and the short. Every grunt, roar and snort. Not a tale I distort.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the genius that brought us Rocket Man and Crocodile Rock, this is a no good.
What's worse than a bad song from a good movie? How about a pointless song that was deleted from a good movie, only to be put back in for seemingly no reason? Case in point, The Morning Report.
And I thought I Just Can't Wait to Be King was bad.
You didn't like I Just Can't Wait to Be King?
Well, I don't hate it. It was just my least favorite song in the whole movie, but this mess took that slot.
Let's go over the history of this song, shall we? Now, while The Morning Report was deleted from The Lion King's original theatrical release, it was, however, reused for the Broadway adaptation years later. And to be honest, it works a lot better in the Broadway show, because when you adapt a movie for Broadway, you need to put in a few more songs in order to expand the running time, and to make it a musical, it obviously needs more songs. Then, in 2001, Disney re-released Beauty and the Beast in IMAX to celebrate its 10th anniversary, and as a bonus, added a previously deleted song, Human Again, which was reused for the Broadway adaptation. When Disney did the same thing for The Lion King a year later, they decided to do the same thing. Unfortunately, out of all the great songs I could have chosen from the Broadway show, they chose The Morning Report.
This song is just stupid. It has no purpose and no reason at all to be in this movie. At least when they put Human Again back into Beauty and the Beast, as unnecessary of a song it was, it at least progressed the story with the objects singing about when the spell is broken and they become, well, human again. This song, however, stops the story dead in its tracks and ruins the dignity of a father and son lesson with Zazu singing a bunch of animal puns. Though he should have taken some dialogue lessons from Mr. Bean.
Magic.
Speaking of which, Roshi, while Rowan Atkinson did voice Zazu in the movie, Disney unfortunately didn't get him to come back and sing the song. Instead, they got veteran voice actor Jeff Bennett. Now, while he does do a decent job mimicking Atkinson's voice, it just feels off when compared to Atkinson's singing later on during I Just Can't Wait to Be King.
Chimps are going ape, giraffes remain above it all. Elephants remember, though 'tis what I can't recall. Well, I've never seen a king or beast with quite so little hair. Crocodiles are snapping up fresh offers from the banks. Showed interest in my nest egg, but I quickly said no thanks. Child is getting wildly out of wing.
But hey, at least it's not as bad as who they got for Simba's new singing voice.
This is the morning report. Gives you long and a short. Every grunt, roar, and snort. Not a tail at its start.
It sounds like they dragged someone from Glee to sing Simba.
Actually, they dragged someone from Everwood to do it. Overall, Disney should have just kept The Morning Report on Broadway and instead should have chosen The Madness of King Scar or something, because that at least would have been more enjoyable to listen to and progress the story in some way.
I wonder what it would have been like if they had gone that route.
Nobility in every team.
If we stop now, don't you see?
She has to be my queen.
There's still a chance for things to be all right again.
Nala, it's written in the stars.
Wait, what are you doing? Are you listening to me?
We'll create a host of little skies. Tell me I'm adored.
Beautiful.
Wait for me.
Number 6.
It's all a good doggy. It's all a good doggy.
Behold, the most unwanted Disney sequel in history!
Why? Just why? Why on earth would you ever make a midquel to The Fox and the Hound?
I think the better question is, why make it a country western musical? Hell, I don't even like country music!
While the original film did have a few songs in it, I wouldn't exactly call it a musical. But this film, however, beats you over the head with the fact that it's a musical. And while I do enjoy country music, I do think that it was an odd choice by the filmmakers to have the songs in a country western style, or even for the plot to be centered around it. Hell, they even got Reba McEntire, the queen of country, to sing in this movie. And I love Reba, she's awesome. Unfortunately, the song they gave her to sing isn't.
He doesn't write, doesn't call, doesn't howl your name. All that he can think about is fortune and fame. There ain't nothing I can do to turn his head and excite him. Sometimes I swear I just wanna bite him.
Now I have two big problems with this song. One is that it has too many dog metaphors in it, making it practically impossible to listen to as a song on its own, unlike any of Disney's other more famous songs.
They got him singing your songs, marking your tree. It's all cold stairs, cold shoulder, cold noses.
The song's message, I guess, is that fame can be hurtful to otherwise good relationships. But I agree, way too many dog puns. And that point where they end up in a farmyard, for some reason brings up Home on the Range flashbacks.
Hey, I like Home on the Range!
That's cute. Ignoring that. But if there's one thing I can take from this song is, well, it's this guy. Okay, now maybe this is because I've never actually seen this movie, but I want to know this guy's story. He comes out of nowhere just strumming his guitar. Normally something like that would put me off, but honestly, he's the only good part of the song. I would love to see the whole song just played by that one guy. No Reba, no animals, just that guy.
The other problem I have with this song is something that does stand out aside from everything else I've said so far, at least to me, and that is the song title itself. Now obviously the meaning of the title is doing a bunch of labor and working real hard but never getting what you deserve. But forget that you know what the meaning of the phrase is and look at it from a different perspective and tell me what you think it implies.
It's all a good doggie. No bone.
No bone? Oh, bone. Okay, I think we're going to dangerous territory here, so let's wrap this up, okay? This song is a mess of country-style scrapple mixed with shameful sequel sauce and left on the griddle for way too long. But hey, at least there's still Guitar Guy.
Maybe you change the lyrics a bit and take out all the dog puns, it could have actually been a decent country song. But overall, as it is one of the worst songs I have ever heard in a Disney film, and not even Reba McEntire could save it.
No bone. Now that's a good little doggy.
Number 5.
I wanna be like other girls, scream up my knee like other girls can, just to be free like other girls.
Mulan 2 was one of those rare Disney sequels that wasn't actually horrible. It was about Mulan trying to escort these 3 princesses to their future husbands, but once again, the rules of China apparently don't fly well with the ladies.
Well, I certainly thought it was horrible. Anyway, as Roshi said, Mulan is escorting 3 princesses, the daughters of the Emperor of China, to an arranged marriage in hopes of building a strong union between kingdoms to help defend China from invading Mongols. However, one of the princesses can't stand the thought of being forced to marry someone she doesn't love, and her sisters actually try to comfort her in what I think is actually a sweet and tender moment between the 3 of them.
The life of a princess from her birth is well defined. Oh. She must humbly serve her country, play the part she's been assigned.
But sadly, it doesn't last long.
I wanna be like other girls, climb up a tree like other
That escalated quickly. Not to mention completely ruins the mood that was set up earlier by the other 2 sisters.
To slouch when I sit, to eat a whole cake, feel the sun on my feet, get dirty, act silly, be anything I want to be.
I've always wondered, what other girls do they want to be like? Because other girls in China don't really act like that.
seriously, this song is just insulting. They clearly state that with the three of them going through with this arranged marriage, they are serving their country and acting as a symbol of hope for their people. But after the outburst, they're all like,
nah, forget all that boring jazz. We want to do nothing but eat junk food, get dirty, and play around all day. Because screw our country and years of honor and tradition. We're selfish idiots.
Plus, is it just me, or is this part really racist?
No hands folded perfect, like holding a lily. No pinchy shoes. That's racist!
Though I have to agree, pinchy shoes are a pain in the butt. Well, foot, I mean.
Or in your case, hoof. So all in all, this slap to the Emperor's face not only brings great dishonor to China, but to the whole franchise as well.
Just to be free like other girls. Get to be.
Number 4.
Dream all day.
And then at night we play. We swing on limbs of trees till we wake up the bees.
These are the things we lost boys do.
Now, in all honesty, Return to Neverland is actually a pretty decent sequel. Not perfect, mind you, but still pretty decent. However, the only really bad thing I can say about it is the Lost Boys' new song, So To Be One of Us.
This song is so grating and annoying, it makes you want to punch these fursuited hooligans.
Yeah, I mean, remember their song from the original movie, Following the Leader, and how great that was?
It's part of the game we play. The words are easy to say. Just a
And yet we're stuck with these little nimrods singing about all the gross and dirty stuff they do because they're boys.
We swing from rope to rope. We have no use for soap.
With open mouths we chomp.
I'm but my swamp, the swamp. And then we dump it up with pudding from a drum.
These are the things we lost boys do.
Hell, I'm a guy, and even I don't want to do any of those things. And speaking of gross... Yep, they just did a fart joke. A fart joke in a sequel to a beloved Disney classic. I mean, I can understand The Lion King, but Peter Pan? As the Blockbuster Buster would say...
Oh, right in that childhood.
Not to mention, the kids they got to voice Lost Boys can't sing if their lives depended on it!
Why couldn't we get another song for Captain Hook? He deserves a good villain song.
Damn straight he does. But instead, we get this mess. While we're still on the subject, the pacing is just atrocious. I mean, it constantly changes speed from normal to super fast like the orchestra had too much caffeine, and the singing doesn't always match up with the melody.
Hell, they're not even singing half the time. But it's just horribly misplaced. The lyrics are cheesy even by Disney standards, and it's just annoying. You know how this could have worked? If they had made this a montage instead of a musical number.
Yeah, but we'd still get...
If this is what it takes to be a lost boy, then I'd rather join the Empire. At least they're clean.
And if you're feeling scared,
I'll have my friends right there.
these are the things we lost boys do.
Number 3.
And they'll be looking very hard. A straw to break Sebastian back, a teeny dint, a tiny crack. A dowdy double take. What I need is one mistake.
Uno error.
Just one mistake.
Oh, jeez. Where do we even begin with this song? Or this villain, for that matter? Or why she has a cute green manatee as a sidekick? Ah, well. This is Marina Del Rey, governess to King Triton's daughter, and her right hand, Benjamin, who looks so freaking huggable, you just want to squeeze him!
Her motivation for being a villain is because she hates having to watch the princesses and would rather have Sebastian's job instead. And that's pretty much it. Seriously, after having such a grand villain like Ursula, an evil sea witch who wanted to take control over all the world's oceans, we have a petty, spoiled brat of a mermaid with a really bad wig who's just not happy with her job. Please, Morgana had a better motivation for being a villain, and she was just a straight-up rip-off of Ursula.
And this song is just terrible! It has no rhythm, no interest, or input, and it's just her bitching about how lowly her job is and how she wants Sebastian to make a mistake. Lady, he's a crab! Get over it!
However, in my opinion, when the song begins, it's really not that bad.
What?
To me, the beginning has this sort of conniving yet almost seductive sort of feel, almost like a singer in a 1930s or 50s nightclub as she tries to think of a way to have Sebastian screw up so she can take over.
Benjamin, I need to find a clue.
Or a good cuticle clue.
To get myself Sebastian's job.
Not to mention Benjamin's comments during the song are both cute and pretty funny.
What I need is one mistake.
Oh, so sorry.
Just one mistake.
Now, color?
Oh, better be on his guard.
So much for my samples.
Unfortunately, just like I Want to Be Like Other Girls from Mulan 2, it quickly goes downhill from here.
Oh my. It's Marina Del Rey.
That's it. Rename.
I'm the new attaché.
French.
Oh, you stink!
Good God, it's like watching a bad burlesque show or a rejected number from a Busby Berkeley musical. You had something good, movie, but then you just had to go ahead and frack it up, didn't you?
Oh, please, that's nothing compared to the disco clothing montage.
Oh God, no!
Work it, Marina, pouty, sassy, from the engine to the chassis.
Seriously, why is there disco music in a movie that takes place in the early 1800s? And how does Marina know what Holland, Paris, and trains are if she's a mermaid? I mean, Sebastian can get away with singing Caribbean music because he's actually a Jamaican crab, and he was a good character. Marina, on the other hand, is a poorly written, sad sack excuse for a villainess whose only purpose is to have a villain in the movie that wasn't Ursula.
Yeah, this is basically an unappealing song from an unappealing villain, and in itself is one mistake.
A straw to break the camel's back, a teeny dent, a tiny crack, a many mighty break. What I need is one mistake. And after that, who knows? Sebastian's bound to make a mistake, right?
Not likely.
Dream killer.
Number 2.
Forget about that guy. Forget about the way you fell into his eyes. Forget about his charms. Forget about the way he held you in his arms.
And right off the bat, we have the biggest problem with the number 2 song on the countdown. It's a love song with majority sung by Iago, who's voiced by Gilbert Gottfried. Let me repeat that. A love song sung by Gilbert frickin' Gottfried. If that doesn't make you want to stitch your ears shut, I don't know what will. Look, I have absolutely nothing against Gilbert Gottfried. I think he's one of the absolute funniest people on the planet, even if some of his jokes do tend to get him into trouble from time to time. Hell, I even find when he sings pretty funny too, like the song You're Beautiful Baby from Thumbelina. But I just think having him sing a love song is not a very smart decision. Unless you want to make it so the two lovers never get back together. What are you laughing at, Roshi?
I'm sorry, but Gilbert Gottfried singing is hilarious. I mean, just hearing him squawk in tune about love, a topic he clearly has no experience with, is just too damn funny.
Oh, God, you're not telling me you actually like this song, are you?
Oh no, this song sucks. I'm just saying the Iago parts just make me laugh for how bad they are.
Oh, well, I guess that makes sense.
If Iago tried this today, he'd probably go to a different approach.
Holy f***, is this wrong? But holy hell, is it erotic?
And even if you take Iago out, the song itself is still pretty bland and forgettable, like any cut and paste love song in a straight-to-video Disney sequel.
I can't forget forget about my heart.
I can't forget about
how it
my
felt to fall for
heart.
you right from the start.
I'm still falling.
Whatever we may do,
Whatever
you
we
are
may
here for
do.
me and I'll be there for you.
Yeah, it's amazing how we went from a whole new world to this.
Not only that, but the animation is pretty bad too, considering this was Disney's first direct-to-video sequel. The character expressions and movements are just so exaggerated and cartoony, and Aladdin's cape constantly appears and disappears between shots. In the end, Forget About Love is the kind of song I so desperately want to forget.
Oh, jeez! Enough is enough!
We can't forget about love.
And the number one worst animated Disney song is...
He's fa-la-la-la falling in love. Fa-la-la-la-la. He's fa-la-la-la falling in love. Sing a rousing, rollicking roundelay for our rip-roaring rhapsody.
You know what? Forget what I said about Fox and the Hound 2. This is the most unwanted Disney sequel in history.
Ain't that the truth? In my opinion, despite some of its flaws, namely the gargoyles, The Hunchback of Notre Dame is one of the absolute greatest films to have come out of the Disney Renaissance.
And it absolutely didn't need no heart-wrenching, face-cringing, god-awful, no-talent, badly animated, unwanted, ungodly, unlovable Disney sequel ever. Sorry, I just really hate this one.
Don't apologize, Roshi. You're not alone. Anyway, let's get to the song itself.
The gargoyles start off the song, and it's instantly garbage.
It's all too sudden.
Our boy has grown.
There's nothing more to do. It's true.
He's on his own.
Personally, I didn't have that big of a problem with the gargoyles in the first movie. Heck, their song, A Guy Like You, while inappropriate for the situation that was happening, I still found to be rather enjoyable. I guess it's just impossible for Alan Menken to write an awful song. But any feelings I had for them in the first film is quickly flushed down the drain when they start singing this awful dreck.
He's fa-la-la-la falling in love. Fa-la-la-la-la-la. Fa-la-la-la falling in love. Why should we be blue? His love is true, so bid the kid adieu.
Seriously, what kind of song has a 1950s rock and roll style melody in a film that takes place in the Middle Ages? Oh, trust me, we'll get to that one day.
The song has no reason to exist, no purpose, no likability. I mean, my god, do these gargoyles have nothing better to do with their time than to make obnoxious love songs? And what's worse, the townspeople get in on it. First of all, how do the townspeople know that there's a song going on? Second, they wouldn't care this much to sing. And third, God, this movie!
And seriously, Fa-la-la-la Fallen in Love? That sounds more like the title of a bad Christmas song, let alone something from Disney.
These lyrics are beyond cheesy, and the tone and atmosphere of the song are all wrong. And there's really no reason to show Quasi and his girlfriend on a tightrope together. Because when I think of romance, I think of friggin' tightropes, right?
Oh, that's nothing, Talking Blue Horse person. My wife Vanessa and I walked across red hot coals on our first date. You're just crazy.
Who was...
Don't ask. Also, how can the gargoyles float in the air when they're made of stone?
They can't! Alan Menken's songs were part of what made Hunchback so powerful. With this song, though, I think it needs a healthy dose of hellfire.
When all is said and done, Fa-la-la-la Fallen in Love truly is the absolute worst animated Disney song either of us has ever heard.
Oh, wow, Quasimodo's falling in love.
And so that was our countdown of the top 10 worst animated Disney songs. Now usually would be the time we each listed our own honorable, or in this case, dishonorable mentions of songs that didn't make the final list.
Nope, I'm done. After all the crap we had to listen to, I'm fa-la-la-la falling out of sanity.
Agreed. Anyway, Roshi, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. It was actually kind of fun having you help out, and I hope we can do it again sometime.
Well, sure, Hewy, I was happy to help. Anything for a fellow critic. Now, if you'll excuse me, I believe I'm going troll hunting.
You have fun with that. And thank you, Kate, for introducing Roshi to me. I'm sorry I ever doubted you.
No problem, Hewy. Now, when are you going to let me appear on screen for once?
I told you, when I find an animator willing to do the job. Anyway, that's all for now. Be sure to join me for my next review. Till then, this is Hewy, Toonmore, and Roshi saying, see you at the movies!
Animated movies, that is.